Virginia cannabis testing versus organic claims is one of the most misunderstood topics in cannabis regulation today. Many people assume that laboratory testing proves cannabis is organic or chemical-free. That assumption is not supported by law. Today, we are going to explain why both ideas exist at the same time, why they are not contradictory, and why understanding the difference matters under Virginia law. Here's the context. Virginia operates a regulated medical cannabis system with mandatory laboratory testing. At the same time, cannabis remains illegal under federal law. That federal status has consequences. One of the most important is that cannabis cannot be certified organic under federal agricultural standards. This creates confusion for patients, policymakers, and consumers, especially when marketing language and safety testing are mistakenly treated as the same thing. Virginia cannabis testing versus organic claims sits at the intersection of state compliance and federal prohibition. Here is the legal explanation. Part 1. What Virginia cannabis testing actually means. Virginia law requires medical cannabis products to undergo third-party laboratory testing before being dispensed. These tests focus on specific safety thresholds established by regulation. Testing looks for defined categories such as certain pesticide residues, heavy metals, microbial contamination, and potency accuracy. If a product passes, it may legally enter the regulated medical system. What testing does not do is certify how the cannabis was grown, what inputs were used during cultivation, or whether chemicals were ever applied earlier in the plant's life cycle. Testing answers one legal question only. Is this product compliant enough to be sold? Legal explanation. Part 2. Why organic claims are different. Organic certification in the United States is governed by the federal government. Because cannabis is still illegal federally, there is no USDA organic certification for cannabis. That means there is no federal authority inspecting cannabis farms for organic practices, no standardized definition of organic cannabis, and no uniform enforcement of organic claims. As a result, words like organic, clean, or naturally grown are not legally verified standards in cannabis. They are marketing descriptions. This is the regulatory gap that makes Virginia cannabis testing versus organic claims confusing. Why these two ideas are not a contradiction. Virginia testing and organic claims serve different purposes. Testing is about consumer safety thresholds. Organic certification is about farming practices. A product can pass every Virginia test and still not meet organic standards, because organic standards are not part of the testing system. Likewise, a grower could follow strict organic methods and still fail a safety test if contamination occurs. Both realities exist at the same time. Who this affects. This distinction affects medical cannabis patients, healthcare providers, dispensary operators, regulators, and policymakers. In Norfolk and across Hampton Roads, patients often rely on testing labels to make health decisions, assuming testing guarantees purity. Understanding Virginia cannabis testing versus organic claims helps people make informed decisions without relying on assumptions that the law does not support. Why this matters. Misunderstanding testing can lead to misplaced trust. Misunderstanding organic claims can lead to false expectations. From a regulatory perspective, clarity protects patients, supports compliance, and reduces misinformation. Virginia's system is designed to mitigate risk, not to certify cultivation ethics. That distinction is critical as the state continues refining cannabis regulations. Here is a scenario. Imagine a patient who believes that passing laboratory testing means a product is chemical-free. They later discover that certain cultivation inputs are allowed but simply fall below testing thresholds. No law was violated. No mislabeling occurred. The misunderstanding came from assuming testing meant organic certification. This scenario is common and avoidable through education. Now consider a different situation. A dispensary operator in Virginia promotes a product as organically grown based on the cultivation methods used by the producer. The product passes all required laboratory tests and is lawfully sold through the medical system. Later, a patient questions the organic claim after learning there is no federal organic certification for cannabis. They believe the term organic was misleading and file a complaint. From a legal standpoint, the product remains compliant. The laboratory testing requirements were met. The labeling did not violate any specific Virginia statute, because organic is not a regulated certification in cannabis. Once again, no law was broken. The confusion arose from the absence of standardized definitions, not from noncompliance. This scenario highlights how regulatory gaps can create misunderstanding even when all rules are followed. What to watch next? Future videos will explore what Virginia testing does not measure, how other states approach transparency, and whether expanded disclosure requirements could emerge through legislation or court interpretation. Virginia cannabis testing versus organic claims will remain a central issue as the regulatory framework evolves. Question: should Virginia require clearer distinctions between safety testing and cultivation practices so consumers are not confused? Put your answer in the comments. Respectful discussion is encouraged. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Virginia-focused legal analysis like this.